close to the house as you can.
Don't you mean our house?
Oh yeah, our house. Our house. I like how that sounds. I don't like how that sounds.
Is this close enough?
Make sure you have RAA Home and Contents Insurance. All claims are handled here NSA. Get a quote today. RAA.
Keep on moving on.
And welcome to Football SA's live stream of the 2020 WNPL Cup Final between Adelaide University and Adelaide City. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202 8078 for a quote. We're bringing you the game with the support of live streaming access. Thanks to them. My name's Paul Marcachetti. Alongside me is Spiro Karanikos Mimis. Welcome to the broadcast, Spiro.
Good evening, Paul. Good evening, everybody. And a beautiful night here in Adelaide. Actually, a slight correction to that. It is very windy. All of a sudden, there's been a real breeze pick up in the last 20 minutes or half an hour, Paul. And I think you could probably hear that slightly through our effects mic. That's going to influence the game, definitely, because it's strongly blowing towards the southern end, which is towards the Adelaide CBD.
It is definitely breezy up here, and we can use that as an early excuse if our notes fly away and we get anything wrong. But fortunately, we do have some expertise in the commentary box, and great to have you on board, Nicole Tilley.
Hi guys, good to be here.
I'm sure you'd rather be playing tonight as you were in the last two cup finals, Nicole, but it's absolutely great to have you. Of course, you don't need any introduction. WNPL star, 2017 Shirley Brown medalist, and goal scorer for West Adelaide and Para Hills before that for many years. Nicole, it looks on paper and with all the results that we've had so far to be very one-sided. Has Adelaide University got any chance tonight? Can they do something to sort of stop what's been a relentless City machine this year?
Well, like you say, anything can happen in finals. I think Adelaide Uni will have to bring something pretty special to knock off City tonight. But hopefully it's a pretty competitive game and we can look forward to it.
Anything's possible, of course, in a cup final, but Adelaide City's form has been something to behold really all year. We've spoken about it in our regular broadcast, Paul. They lost that first game of the WNPL season. That was owing mainly to the fact that most of their W League players hadn't returned to the squad. Since then, they've gone on a 12-game unbeaten run and scored something like 70 goals. So it's going to be tough work for Adelaide Uni tonight. But cup football is strange sometimes, isn't it? And the pressure of not worrying about what's going on in the league for Adelaide Uni, or the release of that pressure, might just be what they need to get a result tonight.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is the end of their season. City have still got finals coming up, but for Adelaide Uni, tonight is their chance to get something out of what's been a tough season for them. Nicole, do you think that City have been even better this year? I mean, you guys were so competitive against them last year, and you pushed them all the way just about every time you played them. You got about 3 wins against them, including during the final series with a goal from yourself, of course. But this year, do you think they've gone up another level?
Well, look, they've been playing together a long time, and I think each year they're just gelling that little bit better. They're extremely clinical in front of goals. So obviously Dorba scored, ridiculous amount of goals, and I just think the whole team improves every year and definitely brings the competition up in standards. And yeah, it's good. It's good to battle against these teams.
Why don't we have a quick look at how both these teams made it here, the road to the cup final. A bit of a smaller cup format this year, Paul, owing obviously to COVID. But in the quarterfinal was Adelaide City 2, West Adelaide 1. The goal scorers on that day were Danny Di Bartolo and Lauren Johns got an own goal for Adelaide City. And Adelaide City actually went down in that game, Paul, 1-0 and fought back. Adelaide Uni got through on penalties after a 1-1 draw with Adelaide Comets 4-2.
Just on that, Nicole, I mean, that game, was it a little bit like the grand final last year, early lead, and City pegged it back? Was it, I mean, we didn't see that game. What sort of game was it? Is it one that you were under a lot of pressure in the second half, or did you feel like you were really in it right to the end?
Yeah, so like you said, we went up early, which is a common occurrence against City for some reason. We have really good starts. And then when they get the equaliser, they just seem to get on top a little bit. And then obviously they scored the winner. But that game was, it was pretty intense at Oakton. But yeah, it was unlucky on our behalf, and obviously well done to City for getting here.
The Adelaide Uni scorer in that quarterfinal was McFarlane with a 101st minute penalty. Adelaide Comets with Alpin in the 111th minute. In the semi-final now, Adelaide City had a convincing 3-0 win against Salisbury Inter. It was Chelsea Dorber with a double, including one penalty, and Danny Di Bartolo. And Adelaide Uni, almost the cup specialist, with another penalty win, 1-1 at the end of full time. Grace Abbey scored in that game in the 86th minute. But they won 4-2 against Fulham, which has seen both teams obviously face off tonight. Paul.
And what's really interesting about those penalty shootouts, and my goodness, it would be extraordinary if we got to one tonight, but those two shootouts for Adelaide Uni, on both occasions, the winning penalty was hit by Evie Goldsmith, their goalkeeper, so absolutely extraordinary stat that, and I'm sure that they'd be happy. I mean, we can't sort of run away from the fact that it's been a really difficult year for them. Just 2 wins and 2 draws in the league. When they qualified for this match, they were in bottom spot. They've lifted themselves up 1 spot by the end of the season. But they have only managed the 2 wins and the 2 draws, and of course they've gotten through on penalties to get here. So really it is on them tonight, and I think what they're really going to need to do is just find a way to the back of the net, because that's been their big problem this year, and you know that City's going to score. On that, Nicole, I mean, we know they're going to need to score, but the moment you do that, you open yourself up. I mean, is their best bet to just try to contain early, do you think, or do they really need to sort of perhaps even surprise City by coming out firing?
Yeah, I mean, if I was Adelaide Uni, I'd be trying to high pressure, obviously pressing high, and, you know, just having shots outside the box to surprise their goalkeeper. Just sort of doing anything, but also being smart defensively, trying not to, let their runs forward, which they like to do. And just try and battle it out. They've got nothing to lose. They're the underdogs. So
you are watching the broadcast of the Women's Cup Final here in South Australia. It is between Adelaide Uni and Adelaide City. Good evening if you're just joining us. We're going to look at the home team lineup now, and that is Adelaide Uni. Adelaide Uni is the home team tonight. We'll get that up on your screen very shortly. There it is, Paul.
Yeah, so Evie Goldsmith, as we mentioned, in goal. The back 4 of McFarlane, Abbey, McLeod and Perinsis will be amazing. Abbey and McLeod, both Adelaide City players last year. In fact, Grace Abbey moved over during the season to Adelaide Uni this season. Fortunately, did so before she could get herself cup-tied. We expect the midfield to be Nora P anchoring, with Yanela and Sasha Curry up ahead of her. And up front, Burke on the left, Piri Weeks, the captain, at centre forward, and Ellie Sparrow at right wing.
Piri Weeks is someone to watch, Paul. Good goal scorer for Adelaide Uni. Scored some absolute crackers this season, including one last week against Comets. So keep an eye on Piri Weeks, who leads the line for Adelaide Uni. On the bench, Paul.
On the bench, it's Panagakos, the central midfielder. Valeria Guajardo, we expect she'll come on at some stage, particularly if Adelaide Uni need goals forward. Georgia Box, Nicole Robertson and Margarita Fitzharris. There's a bit of depth there for Adelaide Uni. I think you'll see most of those players getting a run tonight. Of course, all 5 subs can be used.
Let's have a look at Adelaide City's lineup now. They've been dominant this season. It's Kendall Jenner in goals, Hodgson at left back, McNamara and Macaulay, which make up the Mac defence, and Georgia Campagnoli at right back. Then it's the Sasaki sisters with Dylan Holmes in the middle, Yuka Sasaki number 40 and Nano Sasaki number 33. And up front it's Danny Di Bartolo, Tian Powell and Chelsea Dorber, who, as Nicole said earlier, has scored for fun this season. On the bench for Adelaide City, we've got White, Michaela Wittmer, Franks, Gray, and the reserve goalkeeper is Lucas. We're not too far away from kickoff here, but we're expecting the national anthem very soon too. We'll take that for you as soon as we can. Paul, go on, Paul.
Just reminding that there's a couple of records coming up tonight. Adelaide City have had an amazing record in the Cup. I mean, if you look over this is their 11th final in the last 12 years. They've won the last 3. They lost the last 4 before that. So they're going for 4 in a row. But the only cup final since 2008 that Adelaide City didn't play in was one that Adelaide Uni won in 2012. Adelaide Uni defeating Metro 2-0 that year, and that's the only trophy that Adelaide Uni's won since their glory years of the 80s when people like Moya Dodd were playing for them. So it's a big night for Adelaide Uni. Of course, they did meet in 2017 in the cup final. Adelaide City were victorious 3-2 on that night, but of course one of City's goal scorers with that night was actually Nora Pete, who will be lining up against them. None of those Adelaide Uni players from 2017 are still in the side.
Not too far away from both teams coming out tonight. Just quickly, we'd like to thank our supporting partners today. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202-8078 for a quote. And here come the two teams as we head towards kickoff here in this cup final. Great to see the young children there, welcoming the players out to the park. Women's football is big momentum here in South Australia. I was having a look today, Paul. There is currently 6 divisions of women's football in South Australia, which is fantastic. And clubs ranging from NPL teams or what we call federation teams right through to amateur league teams having women's teams now. Names in big name teams like the Elizabeth Downs, for example, in the amateur league, they have a women's team. Modbury Jets as well. And you could talk obviously about the long-term women's team that we've seen in the senior competition, like and Uni, and of course Nicole, who plays for West Adelaide. But it's great to see the momentum that women's football is gaining here in South Australia, and long may it last.
Yeah, and it's got the two teams that you can see walking out being led by their captain, Perry Weeks for Adelaide University and Tian Powell for Adelaide City. Among the records that City is shooting for, they're looking for their 9th trophy in 4 seasons, won the Cup and the Championship in 17 and 18, the treble last year. They've wrapped up the Premiership this season, so they're going to try to add to their trophy collection in this relentless pursuit over these last few years for silverware. Just pausing, I think we'll be probably having the anthem very shortly with the teams lined up.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the Baylor Football Centre, please be upstanding for the playing of the Australian National Anthem.
We'll be with you after it has completed. Not far from kickoff in the 2020 WNPL Cup final. Hey Nicole, I'm going to call you Tilly tonight because you've told me that's what your teammates would do, and that they would be surprised if we called you Nicole.
Well, we're kind of teammates tonight, aren't we?
We are. We're on the same team tonight, absolutely.
For sure.
Probably the best player I've ever played with, to be honest.
Tell me about this moment and these games. You've played in plenty of cup finals and grand finals. They are different, aren't they? I mean, what's the week like leading up to these games? What are these moments like as you're about a minute from kickoff and you've just lined up for the anthem? Can you talk us through a bit of that?
Yeah, so obviously cup finals, what you play for. You want to get into the finals, you want to get into the grand finals. Yeah, there's something a little bit different about them, obviously. You think about what to eat, when to eat, how much water you're drinking and so forth. So yeah, it's just trying to get rid of the nerves and just trying to pump yourself up, get around the girls, and yeah, hopefully you win the cup.
Do the games unfold differently? Do you think? Like, is there more pace, more pressure, more? I mean, is it a different game, or are there really, every week you go out, you're sort of the same sort of professional?
Oh, I think any final really is the pressure's on a little bit more. You're thinking what I need to do to help this team win, and yeah, it's just a little bit different and obviously more intense. The other team's coming at you that little bit harder, and yeah, just good to be a part of if you can get there.
I wonder if Adelaide City have won the first mental battle of the night, Paul. They've switched sides and they're going to be kicking with this strong breeze in the first half. I just wonder how much Adelaide Uni would have liked to have kicked with this breeze in that first half to give them an opportunity. You can hear how strong it is, folks, and you can probably see the corner flags on the coverage. It is very, very windy. Now, don't be fooled by what that flag is saying. It's actually blowing to the right of your screen, which is the southern end.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you take anyone taking a corner from that corner that we just had on screen, they might be sort of looking to pop straight into goal, because there's a good chance that's the way that the breeze will carry. But we're about to kick off. Adelaide Uni have the kick-off, and they are in the black tonight. Adelaide City in their traditional black and white stripes. We're about to bring you the 2020 WNPL Cup Final, Adelaide University versus Adelaide City. And I think we're going to see, hopefully, a very, very good game. Uni, as we mentioned, this is their final. They've got nothing beyond this. City, of course, will be playing in the grand final. And they're away with De Bartolo on the left. Adelaide City can get the cross in, and that'll be Goldsmiths, who I'm sure will be happy to have an early touch. But be interesting to see how the ball travels as she lets it go. But early release to McFarlane. She tries to get it out, but intercepted by Dorber. Holmes, Dorber, is she going to try to get away early? But there was nobody there for her, and Uni are going to be able to clear. But not much up front at this stage. It's going to be easy enough for Campagnale to find Powell, and that ball's just going to be a little bit too long.
Nicole, tell us about how much a wind like this affects a game plan. How do you adjust to it? Let's say you're playing for Adelaide Uni right now, you're going against this wind. What is the instructions from the coach or the team on the park?
Oh, just keep it down. You know, if you're going against the wind, obviously a bit more pace behind the ball. But as soon as it goes up in the air, it can get pretty ugly, a bit hard to control. So yeah, just passing basically, keep it down, keep it simple for your teammates.
First dangerous cross there of the game, Paul. That was for Sasaki, just going past Chelsea Dorber.
Goldsmith with the goal kick after 90 seconds. City have stepped on the pedal very, very quickly and kept the ball in their attacking half. And that header was well won by Pete, but City have lost it. Dorber and Nano Sasaki not quite on the same wavelength on that occasion. And Burke, starting on the left side, will take the throw. There's a couple of players moving ahead of her. Tries to get it in the direction of Kuri, but that's going to actually blow in and out without anybody touching the ball. Here's Dorber. Under a bit of pressure, but gets it out to Sasaki. Some early touches for City's back four. And Jenna gets her first touch of the game. Brings it out left. Uni have just brought a few players forward to try to put a bit of forward pressure on, and it might have just worked for them. Now, here's a chance for Yanella to put the ball through, but that was intercepted. And Dorber's managed to flick it on. High in the air. McFarlane can't quite get to it. Yuka Sasaki flicks it on. It's going to fall to Georgia Campagnale, but she just misjudged the throw, and misjudged the bounce, I should say, and that's going to be a throw to Adelaide Uni.
Adelaide Uni now with a throw in directly in front of us. That's Burke. Looking for who's just to go down the line, but that will be an Adelaide City throw. And they'll be taken by Georgia Campagnale. A very flexible player is Georgia Campagnale, can play in most positions. We've seen her in central midfield, across the back, wings. In fact, Paul, I dare say, and we say this quite often, that the only position we haven't seen her play is goalkeeper.
No, indeed. She has played a lot of right back, though, lately, and I know she's been... Well, just pause here.
Here comes De Bartolo. Great ball by Dylan Holmes. She's got Dorber and Tian Powell for support in the box. Cuts inside. Does De Bartolo, but that should be comfortable for Evelyn Goldsmith, who will probably be looking to impress tonight. There is a chance that she could become the Adelaide United first team keeper with the departure of Sarah Willisey. She's a very, very talented keeper in her own right, Evelyn Goldsmith.
Tilly, just you face Campagnale a lot. She a player that you feel better just sort of pushing further down, or do you just have her, watch her sort of counter attacks as well, do you feel?
Yeah, she does like to go forward. It sort of depends on the game plan of the night, if I track her or not. But yeah, she's definitely just a really focused sort of player, just does her job nicely, so just got to make sure she's not getting in behind. So yeah.
Here's Di Bartolo through to Sasaki. Again, Powell and Dorber making late runs, but beautifully done there by Abby. And Adelaide Uni look to ease the pressure.
Uni are looking good.
It has been a very good start for Uni. Tian Powell trying to play it through. Here's Sasaki looking for Campagnoli. Can Burke put some pressure on? Campagnoli first time to Dorber. Got to be smart here, Uni. Dorber is very deadly. Dylan Holmes outside the box, cuts back inside on the right, has a shot, well blocked. And that looks like it will go for a throw-in for Adelaide City, and very well defended by Adelaide Uni.
Any predictions?
Oh, I'm not game.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Here's Powell in the box.
We've learned our lesson.
Dorber gets the ball in, there's a chance, but it's headed away. And Curry might be able to break here for Uni. She's got a little bit of space, and she's got weeks ahead of her, but she's sort of turned back, and City have been able to sort of get their numbers back. Here's Burke. Hasn't been able to get it through to Curry, but that's going to be a Uni throw, and Uni look pretty settled. I think that's a good call, Tilly. They do look like they've not overawed by the occasion.
Yeah, just looking at the formation that Adelaide Uni put out, Paul, would you call this a 5-player back line, or 3 central defenders and 2 wing backs, or is it a flat 5?
I think it's definitely 3 centre backs playing. I mean, you can see that Abby and McLeod, the old Adelaide City firm there, and I think McFarlane's sort of dropping into a centre back role with them, and Burke is pushing up as a sort of left wing back a little bit, as you've just seen there. She's just given it to McFarlane, but that's going to go too far. It's very windy indeed, isn't it?
And we kind of expected McFarlane to maybe line up at left back tonight with Princess at right back, but like you've said, Paul, it's definitely 3 across the back, centre backs for Adelaide Uni, with Burke at left wing back and Princess at right wing back.
Tilly, there must be some good knowledge with Uni here. I mean, the base of their defence there with McLeod, Abby, and of course Nora Pete in front of them. So, I mean, it doesn't make their task that much easier, but at least they got a pretty good idea about what's coming, all being very recent City players.
Yeah, like you said, they've played Adelaide City for quite a while before they made the move. So they probably know the players very well, what they want to do, how they try and play. But yeah, they are pretty defensive. When we played against them, it was the same sort of setup, the 2 wing backs with 3 at the back. So yeah, it's interesting, but it seems to have worked so far.
Yeah, so far so good for Uni. Of course, City have shown us that they can strike in absolute instant. But right now, Uni enjoying some possession, and a good touch from Curry, and she's got herself a free kick. And we've liked what we've seen from her in the last few weeks. She's scored a terrific goal against City in the league, and she's really nailed down that spot as a bit of a number 10 for Uni. I think she's could be very useful tonight if she can get some good balls through to Weeks. That's what they'll be hoping for. Abby to take the free kick. She goes quite long. It's probably too long. Kendall Jenner will be able to claim that one. Jenner in the orange kit.
I like it. I like the orange.
I'm a big fan. We've got orange at one end and pink at the other, but I'm a big fan of that orange kit. That's an absolute beauty. Of course, both teams, even though they're both black and white, both playing in their home kit, because City's is such a predominantly white kit and Uni's is predominantly black.
At the risk of sounding like a complete suck-up, Nicole, nothing comes close to your yellow away kit, though, okay? Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade.
We are big fans of the West Adelaide away kit, we've got to say.
I was going to mention that, but I didn't want to make it about West Adelaide. It is the best kit, right?
It is.
Goodness.
No, it's fantastic.
We haven't worn it for a while. I've been pretty devo about it.
I reckon you play better in it too. So you got to get that kit back out.
Bring it back for the finals, I say.
Here's Campagnoli trying to get a ball through to Powell, but that was well won by Abby. Now it's come out to Weeks, but a bit too far for her. McNamara will just take the safe option.
I just wonder if this formation change has caught Adelaide City a little bit off guard here, Paul. Adelaide Uni must be delighted with this start. It is a 3 or a 5-3-2.
But certainly no panic from City yet, so let's see how this plays out.
That's Hodgson. Cuts inside. A little bit too much on that for Sasaki, and that should be comfortable for Goldsmith, and it is. And I just wonder if the tactic is to frustrate Adelaide City for as long as you can.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's Sparrow on the far side for Uni, but easy for the City defence. Sasaki. Macaulay to Campagnoli. Back to Macaulay. And this is what we've seen from Adelaide City most season, retaining possession. And as soon as they sort of get past halfway, there's lots of runs from the wingers. With
Di Bartolo's done well.
Di Bartolo's done very well. And this is where they break really well.
Nice ball.
Here's Campagnoli now. That's a great ball by Dylan Holmes. Campagnoli, can she get in on her right? She can, but gone out for a goal kick in the end. Georgia would be a little bit disappointed with that delivery, but just like we said, when they get past halfway, you do see them break quite quickly. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Give them a call on 8202-8078 for a quote. We thank them so much for their continued support of football in South Australia. Evelyn Goldsmith now with a goal kick, and you can see how much that ball just held up in the wind. And Danny Di Bartolo is probably the shortest player out there, winning a header comfortably. And just shows you the battle that Uni have against the wind. Goldsmith goes a second time. Got good distance on that one. But Adelaide City harassing the midfield now. Oh, gee, Corey's done really well there. But Adelaide City look like they've regained possession. In fact, commentators curse, and it's gone out for an Adelaide Uni throw-in. And it will be Burke, the left wing-back, coming up to take the throw-in. She goes down the line, looking for Curry. Can Curry cross it in? She's done really well to get past there. On her right foot.
Oh.
A really impressive start by Curry. She's been one of the bright lights so far for Adelaide Uni. That cross, though, comfortable for Kendall Jenner. She's a fantastic goalkeeper. Here's Holmes. Looking for a long ball, but that's got too much on it. And Burke will come for the throw-in.
That what you just saw there, that was a big win for Adelaide Uni, because she had nowhere really to go, and Uni's setup would have contributed a fair bit to that. And you don't often see Dylan Holmes not having an option and spraying a ball out like that for a throw-in.
Here's Burke now with the throw-in, right in front of the commentary booth here at the Parks. Fantastic venue in South Australia. If you're watching from interstate, 2 synthetic pitches here, just on the outskirts of the Adelaide CBD in the northern suburbs. Used very frequently on weekends for a range of games. One of the good facilities that we have here in South Australia.
Nicole Tilly, we ask a lot of players about playing on the...
I'll just cut you off, Paul. Here's Tian Powell. She's got Chelsea Dorber for support. And that's a brilliant block by McFarlane, the central defender, and that'll be a corner for Adelaide City on the far end, Paul. And this is the one that you warned about, that side there with the wind.
This is the spot. This is the corner spot from which I think if you were the kind of player who's inclined to go straight for goal from a corner, you get a very good assistance here. It's Dylan Holmes. So probably the best dead ball striker in the City lineup is going to go for it, but it's a short one, and it's gone through all the way to Di Bartolo.
It's a big chance.
It hit her knee, I think. Probably just look at the replay there, and I think it probably just bounced a little bit more than it would have ideally for her. Yeah, it was very hard to bring that under control.
Yeah, wasn't expecting to come all the way through, probably.
So Uni get out of jail. It's going to be a free kick to Yuka Sasaki, conceded by Nora Pete, a former teammate. And Sister Nano, who was the player of the match in this fixture last year, to take it. Here's McFarlane for Uni. Intercepted by Nano. But Perry Weeks might run onto this ball, but McNamara's going to get first. Pretty hard to win a foot race against Matilda McNamara. She's got plenty of pace. But Uni will win the throw, and as we've mentioned, they'll be delighted with the way this game has started. And it's going to be Burke with it. She might look to hit Curry again, and this time it's Yanella chasing up but it's probably gone a little bit too far for her. And I have noticed that she's got a big throw in her, Sophie Burke. She's got a touch of the Rory DeLap's Spiro. She can send it a very, very long way. So it could be a bit of a weapon, particularly when Uni have the breeze in their favour.
One thing I'll say about Burke is that she's probably a better footballer than Rory DeLap. If it wasn't for the fact that Rory DeLap could throw, he probably would never have played the game.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's not fair, but you get what I'm saying.
Again, trying to get the ball down the wing, and again, a little win for Uni. Wasn't able to find Dorber, and it'll be Burke with the relieving throw again. I was just going to ask about the playing on this turf, Tilly. We like to talk to a lot of players about how they feel about the synthetic. Of course, you've also got a training facility where you've got the synthetic turf as well, but are you more of a natural grass type of player, or do you find that it's not too unkind on the body when you're running hard on it?
Artificial every day. Yeah, I've played a lot of a lot of matches over the years on grass, and I think artificial has really lifted the standard. Obviously, no excuse.
Oh, here's a great through ball for Di Bartolo. She's one-on-one, and it's in. Just like that, and we just talked about it before. They make something out of nothing. Amazing ball from Dylan Holmes.
Must have been close to being off. I'd like to see that again.
Yeah, well, we'll see the replay.
I think she was clearly on. We'll just get that replay for you in a sec, but I think Danny Di Bartolo timed her run perfectly.
Found a gap.
And really, that's how Adelaide City can play. Just that simple. One through ball, picked up probably a little bit in the breeze there, Paul, and Danny Di Bartolo doesn't need a second opportunity.
It was a change of tactic, wasn't it? Because Holmes had been looking for the ball out right for Dorber, and on that occasion they got Di Bartolo through on the middle, and now City are attacking again. And this is what we see so often. I mean, you know, they don't look like a goal might be imminent, but can produce something out of nothing. I mean, we saw that when they played West during the rounds this year, Nicole, they were just able to sort of turn on goals when City's way, but it's fallen for Kuri. Not a bad touch, but she was dispossessed. Now she's under pressure, and that was well won by Di Bartolo, but Uni have it back through Yanella. Now can they build something? Tried to get the 1-2 from Pete, but was intercepted. Now Campagnoli has some space on the right. She can try and get through Dorba. Dorba's pace will get her there, but she's run out of room. She'll get the throw.
It's a bit of momentum today for Chelsea Daughter, but to be nominated for the Puskas Award.
Oh, well.
Well,
that was some goal last week. Here's Powell. Tries to turn the ball around, but it's going to come Uni's way now, and bringing it away, and well, no foul given. Dylan Holmes probably got enough on the ball there to win the ball, and she's puts her foot down, says, Georgia, take it easy. McNamara switches across for Izzy Hodgson. I mean, fancy having so much attacking talent in your midfield and forward that Izzy Hodgson's playing at left back. Goodness me. Holmes. Campagnoli. Holmes, just as she often does, just dropping in with the back two centre backs and picking up some ball in deep positions. City just getting the ball under control and just keeping possession for a while. But as we've seen, this is what they do, Nicole. They can just spring it very, very quickly, can't they?
Absolutely.
It's on the left there, and Hodgson is going to get the throw.
Hodgson plays it back. It's Macaulay. All the way back to Jenna. McNamara. Campagnoli inside to Sasaki. That's Yuka Sasaki. Great work by Campagnoli to Dorba. She tried to play Tian Power, but that was optimistic. And cleared to safety by Uni. And that'll be a throw in right in front of the grandstand. A fantastic crowd tonight. Comfortably, I reckon, 200 or 300, Paul, maybe even more. I've never been good with judging numbers, though. But it's definitely at least 200 or 300.
Yeah, definitely a decent crowd in here tonight.
Di Bartolo switches it to Hodgson, who's come forward. She's got Princess for company. Hodgson, not sure if that was a shot or a through ball, but either way, that's not going to test Evelyn Goldsmith in the Uni goal. Just heading into the 23rd minute here at the Parks, and it is Adelaide City 1, Adelaide Uni 0. The goal scorer was Danny Di Bartolo. We're delighted to have you with us today. Thank you so much to Live Streaming Access for their support in making this broadcast possible, and of course our sponsor RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202-8078 for a quote. Here's Hodgson. And Adelaide City just looking to really stamp some authority now. We've seen this before. They'll use possession, and McFarlane's done really well there to get a touch on that, because that was a dangerous ball, and that'll be an Adelaide City throw in. Georgia Campagnoli coming up from right back to take this throw. Looking for Tian Powell. Cleared by Uni. Of course, Tian Powell and Dylan Holmes share the captaincy here at Adelaide City, but it's Powell who's wearing the armband tonight. Sasaki. Back to Campagnoli. Sasaki again. Comfortable play for City. Great work. Great 1-2 with Dorba. Campagnoli now looking to cross it in. George Campagnoli, that's a very dangerous ball. Di Bartolo gets a touch, and that'll be a corner. Some fans asking for a handball there, but the referee not even interested in that. And that'll be another corner for Adelaide City. And it'll be Yuka Sasaki to take it. Who, Paul, was caught on camera training with Adelaide United.
Yes.
Which would be an amazing story if it comes true. Both the Sasaki sisters just rocked up to training one day, said, can we have a kick? Swung in. Well done by the Adelaide Uni defence. That's McFarlane, who's been very impressive. Sasaki with a second chance. Goes low and hard. Holmes on the volley. That's a high from the midfielder. Another one who will be with the Adelaide United team again this year.
Yep, some clubs get all the luck. Nano Sasaki was looking for a club, and she just rocked up at Adelaide City. as one does, and has been a huge part of their success. It's no accident that these last 4 years she's been a part of.
I just wonder if the conversation went something like, by the way, I've got a sister who can play a bit too.
Yeah, bring her over straight away. But also, when we mentioned the co-captains, of course, Dylan Holmes and Tian Powell both joined City in 2017, and that was really when they went another level. Now, here's another chance for them. Di Bartolo is not going to get to that ball first, though, and Princess is able to clear.
She did well to save the corner there, Princess. Nicole, tell us your observations from these first 25 minutes or so. How have you found the game?
I think it's been pretty good standard. To be honest, I thought City might have scored a few more by now, which is what they've normally been doing all year. But hats off to Adelaide Uni for, you know, bringing out their best game and, yeah, battling for the cup tonight.
Told you I wasn't good with numbers, Paul. Attendance so far 620. It's only guessed underestimated by half.
It's a good crowd to get in, particularly while let's not forget we're still going through this COVID period, which interrupted the season and has changed so many things. Now here's a ball hooked over for Tian Powell. She's got an opportunity here, and she's got Dorber in the middle. Powell, and it just went part-way between testing the keeper and part-way between finding Dorber running in on the ball, and the result will be a goal kick for Evie Goldsmith. I've got to say, Tilly, I like the all-pink just as much as the all-orange, but I think the all-orange is the winner as far as these kits go. It's an absolutely brilliant kit.
I don't know, Paul. Palermo fans might have something to say about that.
Yeah.
I like the pink too.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's going to be a throw to Campagnoli. City have just held some pretty good possession since they scored, but at 1-0, it's not a game that they've wrapped up by any means. It might be a game that we all expect, and that they would be the raging hot favourites. But Uni have made a pretty good account of themselves so far, and let's not forget there's some pretty good experience and talent in that defence with McLeod and Abbey. Even players like Gemma McFarlane, of course, is a former NTC player. Ellie Princess, former Metro player, an adventurous right back. So it's not a bad defensive setup at all. Here's Holmes with the free kick. It's gone probably a little bit longer than she would have liked, and that's going to be a goal kick. So we always have this conversation, Tilly, when someone's in this position against City. Can they just hold on and get themselves, to half-time without too much of a deficit at the very least? But usually City have found a way to increase their advantage in those sorts of circumstances. So this is a pretty important period, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. The next few couple of minutes before, or more than that, but the next period of the game before half-time is important. You obviously don't want to concede anymore, but you also want to, hold it together and try and keep the pressure up and last out the half.
Here's Campagnoli. That voice that you just heard is Nicole Tilley, striker for West Adelaide Hillis. They've made the finals. They'll be in action next week, and we'll be here to call that game, so make sure you keep with Football SA and join us as we cover all the WNPL finals. We should mention that, yes, we are covering every match in the WNPL finals, so
that's exciting.
Keep your eye on the Football SA social media for all the details. McNamara, the Mac defence, and Macaulay
is in effect.
Is in effect, yes. We have our little sayings here, Nicole. We kind of, well, that's one of our favourites, I think. Here's Chelsea Dorber, who's been probably a little bit quiet for her standards today. And that's a testament to Adelaide Uni and the job that defence has done. Commentator's curse coming up, of course. Tian Powell, here's Dorber.
Oh, no.
And almost happened. McFarlane did superbly well.
Probably still recovering from that 100-metre sprint at 10 seconds.
Yeah,
that produced the goal last week.
Yeah, come on now.
We've mentioned it twice. If you haven't seen it, jump on the Football South Australia Facebook page and check out the goal of the week from Chelsea Dorber.
I'm only exaggerating a little bit.
Well, how far is it from box to byline? from 118,
Maybe
your defensive
A
18
good
yard
80
box.
min-
80
80
metres
metres, yeah, I
at full
reckon.
pelt.
Yep.
I reckon they would have to rush me to hospital after a run like that.
Should see it at half time.
Here's Tian Power. She's got Campagnoli overlapping, ignores that. And again, the wind causing a bit of havoc there for Adelaide Uni. It was a touch by McLeod that almost carried over the top of Goldsmith. She did well, Evelyn Goldsmith, to keep that away from the corner. But again, Adelaide City with possession. Dylan Holmes. Great through ball to Chelsea
She's
Dorber,
offside.
but she will be offside. Assistant referee calling that one offside.
You're on the offsides, just like if you were playing, Tilly, putting your hand up
Hands
and appealing straight away.
Linesman, it's off.
Do you find it hard to switch off when you're watching a game, honestly?
When I'm,
Like when you're watching, does your competitive spirit still come out?
yeah,
It
oh,
does.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have been disappointed if you'd said no.
Yeah.
I just wondered whether Nicole could watch a game without getting invested in it, but I think
No,
having
no.
seen you play, I don't think that's possible.
Yes.
McNamara all the way back to Jenna. And again, Adelaide City will look to build possession from defence, and you'll notice that as they get closer to halfway, they'll look to break with their wingers. Di Bartolo's actually switched to the right. And that means, of course, that Chelsea Dorber's gone to the left. Tian Powell usually leads the line. Great cut by Dylan Holmes. And you'll see now that Di Bartolo and Dorber will start to look for those runs. And there it is. Here is Chelsea Dorber. She's got Di Bartolo at the back post. Brilliantly done by Abby. A very talented footballer is Grace Abbey. A little bit hampered by injuries, which is a real shame, because she was still is a fantastic footballer. She's bouncing back superbly well from what was a torrid time with knee injuries, if I'm not mistaken, Paul.
I think she's had more than one, and it's been very unfortunate for her. Of course, it's cost her some game time with Adelaide United, where she spent a couple of seasons. But hopefully everything's right now, and she can get back to her best,
Hodgson.
which is extremely good. Let's not forget she's been player of the grand final in 2 grand finals for Adelaide City. So, you know, talking about one of the best defenders going around.
Holmes to Campagnoli. Back to McNamara. And to Macaulay. You're going to get sick of hearing that. That's the way City play. Hodgson. Plays it back. Dylan Holmes dropping deep to collect the ball. Campagnoli offering a run. Gets to her eventually. Burke's done really well to close the space. In fact, Burke's been very impressive, the left wing back for Adelaide Uni. Superb effort down this left-hand side. Campagnoli looks to play it through to Sasaki. She's found her. Sasaki now getting back on her left to the top of the box. Here's Di Bartolo, the goal scorer. All the way back to
Have a hit.
Sasaki. She has a hit.
And it's over.
And you just saw how much the wind picked that up. But lots of space there for Sasaki. That's Nano Sasaki, of course. Too much on the shot, though.
Di Bartolo and Dorber have swapped wings, as they often do. Di Bartolo now on the right, Dorber on the left. In fact, yes, she has gone to the left, and Powell still in the central position. Hasn't quite done what we see her do quite regularly, and sort of drop into more of a 10 so far tonight. But that's probably because you've got the 3 centre-backs running, so they really need to sort of keep a little bit more sort of forward pressure on them. Here's Burke again, another one of those very, very strong throws of her. Just getting back on to Grace Abbey, Tilly, you strike me as one of the strongest players out there physically, and she strikes me as one of the strongest players out there physically. Is she a really, really hard opponent in those battles in close?
Yeah, looking back to, I think it was 2016 or 17, when she was playing for Adelaide City. Sorry, Dylan's
We'll just cut you
going
off there because
forward.
Dylan's
Yeah, no
going
problem.
forward, and she's got the overlap with Izzy Hodgson, who's
hit.
going to hit it with a right.
Oh,
That's a
nice
great shot and a
save.
great save by Evie Goldsmith.
Done really well, both players there.
Tremendous shot, but Evie Goldsmith was equal to it, and that's why she has been on the Adelaide United squad for the last couple of seasons. Tremendous save, but the danger's not over yet. 35th minute, City 1-0 up. They're looking to add to their lead. And Yuka Sasaki with a left foot will swing the corner in. Plenty of players up. It's just a little bit shallow. Oh, the clearance nearly went awry, and Uni still haven't got the ball away, and eventually Daphne McLeod said enough of that. She got rid of it, but offside now is Matilda McNamara in unusual territory up on the attacking right. Of course, she'd just come up for the corner. But yeah, is she one of the strongest players out there normally, Grace, Abby? Tilly, she looks to be one of those players who really has a huge physical presence.
Yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, that grand final at High Marsh, I can't remember the score, but we didn't win. She won player of the match. She gave me a real headache alongside Daphne McLeod. Yeah, I think them two have a lots of quality about them, and yeah, it's definitely tough coming out against them. Back when I was playing Central, number 9.
Do you like being out more on the wing? You seem to like to sort of come in nicely onto your right foot from the left. I mean, you a bit happier out there, or do you prefer being central?
Yeah, I do like my space to try and drive forward and get in behind, and I think number 9 is probably harder. Just being more aware of the space around you, and in general a harder position, but I'm happy as long as I'm out there, to be honest.
Of course, you're listening to Nicole Tilley, guest commentator tonight in this 2020 Women's Cup Final, WNPL Cup Final between Adelaide University and Adelaide City. City leading 1-0. We thank our sponsors, RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202 8078 for a quote, and live streaming access, who are bringing you this coverage on behalf of Football SA.
Dangerous ball there, but cleared up
Nicely
by Uni. Yes, very nicely, and Goldsmith got good coverage on that clearance. And Adelaide Uni will in fact win a free kick right in front of the Adelaide City bench. Of course, the Adelaide City coach tonight is Adriano Pellegrino. He's the caretaker. Took over halfway through the season, has led them to another premiership, looking to lead them to a cup win tonight, and of course they've got the championship coming up, the finals. Hodgson, back to Macaulay, McNamara. Adelaide Uni really holding back and just waiting for that ball into midfield before they add some pressure. And as you just saw, Sasaki was under pressure, but she's done really well to get it to Dorber. Here's Chelsea Dorber now. Di Bartolo's made the run. What a great tackle that is from Abby.
Yeah.
And the crowd
Still in,
appreciated it. Dorber kept it in, tried to swing it in, but Adelaide Uni defence strong again. They've coped really well with this defence, this win, looking for a handball there, but it's fallen to Di Bartolo. Here's Tian Pao. Back to Sasaki. Great first time touch to Campagnoli. Georgia Campagnoli looking to swing it in, but there's Burke again, who's been superb for Uni this first half. Very impressed with her, Paul. I don't know how you've seen her game and you, Nicole, but I think she's been superb at left wing back for Uni.
Yeah, 100%. Standing out at the moment.
Back to Georgia Campagnoli. Looks to swing it in. McFarlane's done well. Oh, that's a high boot.
Yeah.
Now, was that in the box?
No.
The referee has decided that's just outside the box.
It's an indirect free kick. The referee had his hand up, so...
Just have a look here at the replay.
Is that Nora?
It looked like Nora Pete, you're right.
Yeah. Oh,
That's a high boot.
just gone for it.
I'm not sure why would that be an indirect free kick, Paul?
Well, the ref did put his hand up in a way that you would normally do so for an indirect free kick, so we'll just check what the signal is when before the free kick's taken, but...
I would say it's a direct free kick because it's dangerous play. And it looks definitely going to be a direct free kick. The referee's arm is down. And Dylan Holmes standing over the top. We saw a cracker last week from Ebony Kiriakou. Can Dylan Holmes repeat it tonight? Dylan Holmes steps up. Holmes into the wall, no danger, gets the rebound. Soft volley in the end by Dylan Holmes, and she'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah.
McNamara with the throw. No, she's going to leave it for Campagnoli. And gets it down to Powell on the right wing. Into Holmes. Good ball. Holmes now trying to get her way through. She's got lots of black shirts around her, and eventually one of them won it. That was Perry Weeks. They have done well there, Tilly. Now Curry is going to try to beat McCauley to that ball, but the City defence has it under control. Hodgson, great ball inboard. Uni certainly haven't dropped their heads since they went behind. That was a little while ago now, the 16th minute, that Danny Di Bartolo scored what is so far the only goal of this game, but almost a mistake there by McLeod, and Perinsis is going to have the throw. Uni trying to work their way up the right wing. Hasn't been on that side for them too often. More of their attacks have, when they have had the opportunity, have come down the left, but there's Pete trying to scoop the ball over. McCauley will be there first. Still a little bit tricky, but she's won herself a goal kick in the 41st minute, and we're getting into that danger zone where City so often find a way to put a team away just before you get to the break. So this is a period that Uni are just going to have to be absolutely on their game. Here's McNamara. It's at the end of the field where the Uni players would want it. But City are very patient before they find their opportunity to strike. McNamara's got Campagnoli in a bit of space on the right, and that's where it goes. Burke pushing up on her. The numbers with City, of course, at the back. Yuka Sasaki. Hodgson. Again, going all the way back to Jenna. Now, the way Uni have set up has been very, very good. Campagnoli, and she's given it away. Here's Weeks. Weeks now tries to put through Yanella. Back to Weeks. Perry Weeks, can she get onto it?
It's a great ball.
Gee, that was a really good ball through. That was great pressure though, Nicole.
Yeah. Yeah, to win it in that third is you don't see it often. You don't often see Adelaide City give the ball away, so you need to be that high and pressing and then to almost score from it is, yeah, impressive.
Now Abby just got a little bit under that bouncing ball, and Powell's won it, and she's put through Dorber. Here's the danger we talked about, Dorber. Again, I'm not really sure if that was an attempted cross or a shot.
I think she was looking for Danny.
But
it's just
didn't get the sort of control, wasn't able to wrap the ball around as her foot as she would have liked. And it's a free kick, it's a goal kick I should say, in the 43rd minute for Evie Goldsmith, and the wind has really picked up, and you can't see it, it's causing all sorts of fun and games in the commentary area for us. And McFarlane will shepherd the ball out under Powell's. But normally at half-time, teams looking at what sort of changes they might make, but you know, they've got some good players on the bench, Panagakos, Guajardo, Box, of course, but right now, Uni probably not really thinking they would have to change very much, would they? Yeah,
not really. I mean, to be 1-0 against City, well, maybe half-time is, yeah, something to be pretty proud of, and I don't know if any change is necessary at this moment, but yeah, they do have a good bench, so that if they do come on, that can add to strength. I know Panna is known to score a few goals from crazy distances, so who knows if she could come on and make the difference.
Yeah, no, good call. She is someone that can hit the ball decently from her midfield position.
Yeah.
But here's City again.
Here's
Di Bartolo with a shot. Oh, Goldsmith's got that under control.
Wow.
Second go. And we're in the 44th minute. You're watching the Football SA coverage through live streaming access of the 2020 WNPL Cup Final, Adelaide Uni versus Adelaide City. And Adelaide Uni, and we don't want to sound like a small loss is a good result, of course. They've got to be happy with the way they've played so far, but I'm sure they're going to do their absolute best to win this match. 1-0 at the moment to City. Here's Di Bartolo being pushed a little bit inboard.
Oh, that's a foul.
Been fouled by Yanella. It's another opportunity for Holmes to see if she can sort of put one in for someone like Powell or Di Bartolo to, or Dorber to get on to the end of, but I think Di Bartolo's fine there. But McNamara gets on with it quickly. Be interesting to see, has hardly been any stoppages, so I doubt we'll get more than 1 minute of stoppage time if we get that at all. So we're really into the dying stages of this first half of the 2020 Women's Cup Final. Brought to you by RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202-8078 for a quote. Another foul on Dorber.
It's definitely a foul, I think, from what I could
There's
see.
Nora Pete, who her former teammate, of course.
Yeah, yep.
She's done a pretty good job screening her back five. Sasaki under pressure again. You know, really, really good play from McFarlane.
Yeah, she's definitely a strong competitor from what I've experienced. McFarlane there.
And as we suggested, not much stoppage time at all, just the 1 minute. So we've already played 20 seconds of it. City with the ball at the back. McNamara. Will they launch one last attack? Macaulay. Hodgson's attempt at getting ball forward was intercepted by Parensis. And now ball's going to come through with Pete just deciding that anywhere is good enough. Probably a very, very good decision, because the whistle is probably going to beat any potential attack now, and that is the halftime whistle. And an intriguing cup final here. Adelaide City coming into this game against Adelaide University as overwhelming favourites. They took the lead in the 16th minute through Danny Di Bartolo, but that's been the only goal so far. Adelaide Uni will have a big chance to regroup and see how they can try to get themselves on level terms in the second half. They've had a terrific cup run so far, and there may be a little bit more to the story just yet, but we're hopeful that we're going to get some words from Spiro down on the boundary. He's got Adelaide Uni coach Costa Jaric with him, and we're ready to go.
Thanks very much, Paul. Really appreciate it. I am with Costa Jaric, the Adelaide Uni coach. Costa, you must be delighted with that first half, considering the conditions, that strong wind going against you in that first half.
Yeah, definitely. Very disciplined performance from the girls, structurally doing everything that we want them to do. Obviously, there's been a few chances where they've gotten through and the goal was a bit unfortunate at the high line, but otherwise I can't fault the girls for their defensive performance.
Talk to us about the change of formation. We noticed that it's probably a 5-3-2 tonight, is that right?
Yeah, so we're playing with the wing-backs out wide. They're there to put pressure on the full-backs, so we don't want their full-backs getting on the ball forced back as much as possible. We're looking to get their defenders a little bit nervous in possession, just holding on to a bit longer than they'd otherwise like to. And so far I think we've got that happening, yeah.
What's the plan for the second half?
Second half, we've got to go for it. This is 45 minutes at the end of the season for us. They've got a long way to go. We know that we can find complacent moments as we did last time we played them. The girls have got it in them to really just knuckle down and create that one opportunity that they need to score, and then from there I think we can really make something of it.
Thanks very much for your time, Costa. Good luck in the second half. Appreciate it. Back to you up there. We're going to take a short break here from the 2020 WNPL Cup Final. The halftime score is Adelaide City 1. The goal scorer, Danny Di Bartolo. Adelaide Uni 0. Back with the second half very, very soon.
So, are you ready to go and look at some new cars?
I already am.
Oh?
I like this one.
Oh, nice. Have you thought about insurance?
I'm just doing an online quote now.
So anything your dad can help with?
I'd love a coffee.
Insure your car from new continually with RAA, and if it's written off, we'll replace it with a new one. RAA.
Keep on moving on.
hands with soap and water, use hand sanitizer, please keep 1.5 metre distance where possible, and give a wave or an elbow instead of a hug or handshake. And Football SA would like to acknowledge all corporate partners who have helped football get back onto the field. Major partners the RAA, Coopers, Stars Junior, SAFM, Cuba, Valo and Channel 9, and support partners Bendigo Bank, Green Play, Elastoplast, Bedford, Powerade, Boral, Osco, Metro Homes SA, One Solution Group, Claymore Wines, Kanga, Wakefield Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic, Bigfoots and Pila.
Welcome back to the 2020 WNPL Cup Final, here being brought to you by RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202-8078 for a quote. We thank Live Streaming Access for bringing you this Football SA broadcast. My name's Paul Marcachitti. I'm with Spiro Karanikos Mimis, and we're very lucky to have special guest commentator, West Adelaide star Nicole Tilley, with us tonight. The score is currently Adelaide University 0, Adelaide City 1. Adelaide City overwhelming favourites, but thus far they haven't been able to run away with this game. Of course, they've beaten Adelaide Uni by 4 goals twice this season. Thus far, it's been a very, very different game, and Adelaide Uni's tactics have been spot on and they've contained them. First to you, Nicole Tilley. We heard Spiro interviewing Costa Jaric at half-time. He said this is their season, they're going to have to go for it. Do you think they might just have to be a bit more conservative for a little while before they do that, or maybe just get out of the block straight away?
I don't know. I think as long as they keep the pressure up initially, and then just look to go forward and try and hold them off a little bit, and then I mean, they got nothing to lose. Like Costa said, their season's over, and they're the underdogs tonight, so I'd say go for it.
Adelaide City about to kick off. Spiro, take it away.
Second half just getting underway here. Adelaide City 1, Adelaide Uni 0. And Adelaide Uni now with the wind behind them. The temptation might be just to shoot. Chelsea Dorber. It is a gale, as you can probably hear through the effects mic. Sasaki tried to turn, but Uni did really well again. The defence is held up strong. Back to Sasaki now. Nano Sasaki across the top of the box. Tian Powell.
That's on target.
Excellent block there by McFarlane, who's been really, really good in defence for Adelaide Uni. And that'll be another corner for City. Is there a temptation when you've got a wind behind you like this, Nicole, to just, if you get a bit of space, just have a shot and test the keeper?
Yeah, I don't like too much because it will end up on the back pitch. But definitely I look for any chance to shoot, and the wind can help in these situations.
Dylan Holmes swings it in for City.
Ooh.
And that's carried all the way through. Evelyn Goldsmith not looking too confident with that punch, but nothing at the back post there for City, and a bit of an escape there for Uni. Goldsmith, who's performed superbly in that first half, made one world-class save and actually got a hand to the goal as well. We probably didn't mention the fact that she did really well to get one hand on Di Bartolo, who'd gone through one-on-one. So she's had a superb half, Evelyn Goldsmith. Ball now, though, with her opposing goalkeeper in Kendall Jenner. Hodgson plays it down the line. Di Bartolo.
Touch.
Yeah, she's a very talented footballer, is Danny Di Bartolo. Kouri putting some pressure on, but Di Bartolo keeping possession. Played down the line by Campagnoli, but comfortable for Goldsmith. And as you mentioned, Paul, I was down on the ground at half-time interviewing Costa Jaric. The wind is actually quite strong, even at ground level. It's probably even stronger than you can hear through the microphones. So it is quite strong. So they would have been delighted with that first half, Adelaide Uni. Well, okay, I shouldn't say delighted because they are losing, right? But against a win like that and against quality opposition like City, I think they should be very, very happy with that first half performance. Sasaki to Holmes. She's put under immediate pressure, and Uni regain possession. We're now with Weeks. Kouri back to Weeks. Can she get through? She can't. It's cleared.
Sasaki playing centre back.
And carried too far there for Di Bartolo. And it will be a relieving throw-in for Adelaide Uni. Will be Parensis, the right wing back tonight. Plays it all the way back to McLeod. Tian Power put pressure on immediately. It's another throw for Parensis. Down the line this time looking for Kouri. Di Bartolo gets in the way. Sasaki there again to clean up though for City. And all the way back now to Macaulay. Macaulay back to Jenner. Putting a bit of pressure from Sparrow. And back with Jenner.
City just holding possession. No real change to the patterns of play we saw in the first half just yet, with Uni setting up pretty well against them. But there's a good ball on from Powell to find Dorber, but again, McFarlane's done well. Nano Sasaki, who, as Tilly mentioned, has dropped deeper thus far, sort of into a bit of a sixth position. Now, Uni can get the ball away through McFarlane. Burke. And it's gone up the wing. And we mentioned that this is Adelaide City's 8th straight final. They lost 4 on the trot, 4 cup finals on the trot from 2013 to 16, and then won 3 in a row from 2017 to 19. So they're now going for 4 in a row. Of course, you don't want to be reminded, I know, Tilly, because the last 2 were against West Adelaide. But in 2017, it was against Adelaide Uni. 3-2 was the score on that occasion. Dylan Holmes is actually going through a 5th cup final in a row, because in 2016 she was part of the Fulham side that defeated Adelaide City in this fixture. But at the moment she's on target. Now Goldsmith has just beaten De Bartolo to that ball. Yes, so she moved to City, having just defeated them in the cup final, Dylan Holmes, and has proceeded to win lots and lots of trophies in the black and white stripes. Here's Sparrow trying to bring the ball over, but Hodgson was up to it. Comes out to Pruensis and intercepted by Holmes, who's almost sent the ball into the commentary area.
Nicole was like, there it is. Might have got a touch there, Nicole.
Yeah.
It's going to be a City throw now. Hodgson, Powell with her old buddy McLeod for company. Got to say, there's been a few smiles between contests between a few of the players, with so many former City players at Uni. Here's Powell shooting.
It's in.
It's in. No.
Oh, no, it's
Did
not.
it cross the line? No appeals from anybody.
VAR. Where's the VAR?
Well,
Where is VAR? Well, we're best placed to see it. We've got it here. No one reacted like the ball might have crossed the line. Great play by Powell.
Yeah. Nicely done.
Oh, no, it didn't cross.
Close, but probably didn't cross. Now here's Powell again, but McLeod's read that touch very, very well.
We were saying at half-time, weren't we, just between ourselves while we're waiting for our coverage to resume, that Adelaide City have traditionally this season exploded in second half. So Adelaide Uni got to be cautious. While they had the advantage of the win, they got to be clever, because City perform much, much better in second halves from what we've seen, and that's something you'd probably agree with, Nicole.
Yeah, for sure. I think majority of their goals have been in the second half throughout the year, so it's something to be cautious of. But Uni are still doing pretty well. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, it's certainly their setup has been very, very good, and City have had to be patient, but they can break through. And here's Izzy Hodgson trying to do that now, but she's surrounded by black shirts. It falls to Holmes. So I would say that most of Holmes's passes have gone to the back forward tonight so far, and that also is a big win for Uni. She's usually looking to, play those fantastic through balls of hers, and a couple of the ones that she did early on in the game went awry. So that really shows you the sort of pressure that Uni have managed to exert so far. But here's City on the attack again with Nano Sasaki, who's found a pocket of space. Izzy Hodgson. But plenty of black shirts ahead of her, and it's going to be a goal kick for Evie Goldsmith.
We spoke about the fact that Adelaide Uni's WNPL season was over. They avoided the wooden spoon, which was something obviously they would have wanted to do, and maybe that lift of pressure and requiring to sort of perform in the league might benefit them today. And they seem to be playing a lot freer and with a lot more spirit and encouragement. And even just spending a few minutes on the sideline there whilst waiting to interview Costa, you could hear the players encouraging each other, and their coach Costa, saying to them, get into position, what do we need, what do we require, girls? And it was instant. And I think that's something that's been lacking from Uni this season, from the games that we've seen, Paul and Nicole. So maybe that freedom of not worrying about the league and the pressure of the league has done them a huge favour tonight.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It'll be a free kick for Uni just inside their own half.
There's two other former partners in crime, Holmes and Pete. Holmes with the foul on Pete. Dylan's nominated Nora in the past as probably the player she understands best when she plays alongside her. So I'm sure they'll know exactly how to play each other this evening.
Grace Abbey now looking for a long ball, probably looking for the wind to do a bit of work here. It's gone to the back post, almost snuck in. Some calls for handball, but nothing doing. Sasaki turn, but that's well done by Uni again. And here they're through, there's that shot. It's high.
Unlucky.
But that's brilliantly done by Pete.
Did well to break through.
The player that Paul just mentioned. And Adelaide Uni will be happy to have that opportunity. Obviously the finish was just a little bit lacking, but again, the pressure on Sasaki when she tried to turn has been a highlight of Adelaide Uni's game tonight. Burke putting some pressure on Campagnoli there, but it'll be a throw-in for Adelaide City just in front of the Uni bench. Down the line, looking for Powell, comfortably cleared by McFarlane. Sasaki, Campagnoli, forced to go all the way back. And that's something that you just noted too, Paul, not long ago, the fact that Adelaide City have been forced to play backwards quite a bit tonight. They are very composed on the ball, as you've seen here, but here comes the pressure from Uni. And they've got it to Danny Di Bartolo. She's got the overlap from Hodgson. She's done really well there, Hodgson. Now finds Grace Abbey in front of her, and she's been an absolute rock in defence tonight, Grace Abbey. And that's another superbly timed challenge. It'll be a throw-in for... Yes, it was, sorry, it was, of course, Hodgson.
Dorber trying to get her way through and just trying to play a through ball for Yuka Sasaki, just a little bit much on it. Dorber's been well held so far this evening, but just tries there to put some pressure on Burke and has forced the throw in. The longer it stays at 1-0, the more you feel Adelaide Uni's belief will grow. Of course, in the semi-final, they were 1-0 down in the 86th minute, and Grace Abbey got the equaliser. The game ended up going to penalties, which Uni won. Here's Holmes.
Somebody's...
It's a head clash.
Hurt, potentially.
Yeah, it's a head clash. The referee has to
repeat.
Stop the game, obviously, under the rules. Something with a replay here. Yeah, just a clash on heads there.
Yeah. Doesn't look too bad. It's going to be a drop ball restart.
So who had a possession last? Let's see. Adelaide City did, so they'll get the uncontested drop ball, and it'll be play on.
McNamara. Of course, the City defence has been pretty good tonight as well. Let's not underestimate that they've had most situations well under control. Campagnoli trying to get up the right wing. Some space here for Macaulay to just drive a little bit forward. Di Bartolo. Hodgson first time. It's a great ball. Oh,
great ball.
Nearly got Yuka Sasaki in, and Yuka looks like she's pushing a little bit more forward. City have changed things around just a little bit, Tilly.
Yeah. They look like they've got a different approach on things. They're trying to really attack. They obviously want to add to the score tally.
And Yuka looks like she's gone to more into that, pushed into that 10 role.
Yeah.
She's got it now. Offside against Di Bartolo. Jackie Mexon, the assistant referee, on that wing. McLeod with the relieving free kick. So going to have to go long. Powell is looking for the, and I'm sure you can hear the wind now if you haven't heard it so far. It's long kick from Goldsmith. Falls to Holmes. McFarlane. There's a lot of voice out there at the moment, and this game is definitely on. Hodgson. Di Bartolo's come a long way inboard, and oh, Curry nearly dispossessed her. Yuka Sasaki. Hodgson again.
As crazy as this is going to sound, Paul and Nicole, this is unfamiliar territory for Adelaide City.
Well, they've just torn teams apart almost every match this season. There have been very few games that they haven't not just won, but won comfortably. So, you know, with so many hardened pros in this City side, they'll know that even though they haven't given up many chances, at 1-0, you're never safe. Yanella.
Yeah, 1-0 is dangerous.
Pete. Yanella.
Oof.
Now, can Princess get onto this? It might just beat her out. It's a good idea.
Right idea, yep.
Getting back to that grand final last year, Nicole, you know, did you sense any change with City? I mean, you know, they are always the favourites. So I'll just break for a moment here. Here's Yanella, Sparrow, under a lot of pressure. It's going to be cleared. Did you sense any, no, not panic, but any urgency from them as the game wore on and they just couldn't impose themselves? Did their attitude, their body language, their chat change?
Yeah, I think, obviously, like I've said before, the second half is usually better. We've scored a lot of early goals against them. But yeah, obviously they're a great team overall, so it's just about trying to stay switch on and match the pace they set.
Interesting substitution here for Adelaide City. Tian Power, the striker, has come off. And coming on will be Michaela Wittmar.
Is a defensive move.
You'd assume Hodgson will probably push up a little bit and maybe Di Bartolo will lead the line. Was a bit of a push in the back.
Yeah.
Or maybe Chelsea Dorber. Or I'll just stop guessing and just tell you that Georgia Campagnali's moved forward. And now it's Dorber one-on-one. Chelsea Dorber has broken through. Great save again by Goldsmith. Superb save by Evelyn Goldsmith. She's been on fire tonight, and that's another excellent save by the Uni goalkeeper. We're used to seeing Chelsea Dorber put those in the back of the net, but she's found stiff opposition tonight in Evelyn Goldsmith.
It's going to be a corner to City. We're in the 61st minute. We have passed the hour mark. Haven't really thrown a huge number of players forward. Still got several out of the box. That's a good corner, and it was one and a shot in there by Hodgson, but she never got under control. In fact, the ball's still in, and it spent a lot of time in the air.
City throw.
It is going to be a City throw. Good call, Tilly. We might, you might be ending up doing the play-by-play by the time you're taken to this commentary.
Guys, I've got it. You can leave. That's cool.
You're taken to this commentary business pretty well. Here's Hodgson. Campagnali is offside. And once again, it's another little win for Uni. And they've played so well tonight. Now Goldsmith. She has got a decent boot on her, and the wind will be in her favour this time. Sparrow under it, but that'll be won by Nano Sasaki. Pete. Kuri. Hodgson was in control of that situation. Princess under pressure. Has done well. She's won the throw.
At some point, Nicole, obviously Adelaide Uni were going to need a goal. When do you just say, go for it? At what point? I mean, it's still early, 60 minutes, but at what point do you sort of say, okay, we have to push for one here?
Oh, I'd say last 15 probably. But yeah, obviously, any time in the second half you're 1-0 down, you're going to be looking for any sort of opportunity. But yeah, I know myself when I check the clock, I think, okay, we're running out of time, let's make something happen here.
I mean, we've been full of superlatives for Adelaide Uni, and they have played sensationally well, but they are losing, and it's easy to forget that. They still need some type of result to walk away with silverware, so they have to go for it eventually.
So just we're confirming the results of that change. Campagnale's moved up to left midfield. Michaela Wittmar is at right back.
Here's Campagnale now, superbly cut out again by the Adelaide Uni defender in McLeod. Down the line, Sparrow looking for the overlap of Princess. But Sasaki's been cleaning up quite a bit for Adelaide City, and here's a change now for Adelaide Uni. We'll get eyes on that for you. Number 14 is coming off. That is Piri Weeks, the striker, and she's being replaced by number 25, which is Fitzharris. And Perry Weeks will give the armband to, it looks like Nora Pete there in the middle. No, it's Georgianella. So there's that substitution on your screen for you. Perry Weeks leading the line, the captain. Fitzharris coming on now.
Yet another former Adelaide City player.
They're everywhere.
Fitzharris, yes.
They're kind of like the Chinese table tennis players. They just sort of represent all the countries, all these Adelaide City products. But they are a fantastic team. They develop a lot of players. Here's Goldsmith now. Back to Abby. Well, that's a loose one from Goldsmith. It's fallen to Di Bartolo, who's the only goal scorer of this match, but Grace Abbey has been superb. Now she looks for the overlap. Probably would have been offside if it had gotten through to Burke. But Adelaide City cut it out. Sasaki's given it to Dorber. Dorber now to Wittmar. Michaela Wittmar. Tony Wittmar's daughter. Born in Glasgow.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Cool.
I'm not going to take credit for it. Paul told me.
Oh.
Well, Tony was playing for Rangers at the time, so that's why.
Right.
Here's Sasaki playing it through to Campagnoli. Too much on it, as correctly commentated there by Nicole Tilley, who is our special guest tonight, the West Adelaide striker. Do you call you a striker or a winger? What do you prefer? You're a bit
Striker.
Striker?
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
West Adelaide striker. Got a few strange looks from people down below. Our voices carry.
Yeah, we did mention the last time we have called these two teams playing each other in the regular season this year, and we did mention that even though there's a McNamara, a Macaulay, a McLeod, and a McFarlane out there, it's Michaela Wittmar that was born in Glasgow, not none of the Macs. Free kick for Adelaide City, and Dylan Holmes, as you'd expect, is over it, but just decides to play on.
That's very good, Paul. I know it's the second time I've heard it, but I still really rate it. I think it's an excellent one.
Yeah. And well done there by Burke. Again, she's won the throw when City were in possession in the 66th minute.
Completely ignored there, Nicole.
Yeah,
Did you notice?
He's like, come on.
I just moved on, mate.
Yeah.
Macaulay. Now that we've mentioned that the Macs are getting all the ball.
Oh, Dorber's
now,
onside.
Dorber has beaten the offside trap here. She loves this situation. Chelsea Dorber! Goldsmith saves again!
What is going on?
Well, Chelsea
done
Dorber
really
is
well.
in the sort of form this season where in just about every situation that happens, you just expect the net to bulge, but once again, Evie Goldsmith has denied
she's
it.
done exceptional there.
Of course, she does face her at in training when they're at Adelaide United, but still, here's the corner. It's been won by Uni again. It's going to fall to Nano Sasaki, but a free kick's been found.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, but despite, I wouldn't think that would be enough. Just knowing her from training for a couple of seasons of the W League to just deny the sort of form that Chelsea Dorber's been in this season so far. I mean, almost averaging 3 goals a game, incredible form. But Evie Goldsmith has kept her side in it on more than one occasion now. McLeod. Fitzharris trying to get into the game. Sparrow also putting on pressure, and I don't know if Weeks was injured, but I think the only other reason I can imagine she might have come off Tilly is because she's done a lot of running at number 9 to put that defence under all the pressure that we've seen. Princess tries to take on Izzy Hodgson. That's not easy. That's going to be a City throw.
No, that is Izzy. Yeah, that's the best I got. That's
there
it.
it
I'm
is.
done. I'm done for the night. That's the best
See you
one I got.
Spiro was just leaving.
Di Bartolo to Kuri. He's been very impressive for Uni in the midfield, but she's harassed by Di Bartolo, and it falls to Sasaki. That's Yuka Sasaki to her sister Nano. Long switch to Campagnoli. It's got Goldsmith thinking about it, and she's done well in the end, Evelyn Goldsmith. Long ball. May have been a foul there.
Fitzharris.
Bit of hands, but
cheeky from Izzy.
nothing going. And Michaela Wittmar sees that one roll out safely. Bit of pressure from Fitzharris, but comfortable in the end for Wittmar. And we're almost at that point, aren't we, Nicole, where Uni are going to have to think about pushing a little bit more forward and opening up a little bit, trying to get that goal that could force extra time, or maybe even 2 that might get them the win.
Yeah. Fitzharris is also known for the long bombs into the goal, so she can get a bit of space.
There's a great ball by Dylan Holmes. Chelsea Dorber with her pace. She's got Di Bartolo on her own top of the box. Can she get to Di Bartolo? Excellent defending again by Uni. Campagnoli plays it back to Dorber. Dorber now just inside the 18-yard box, looking for Sasaki, but again, it is expertly defended by Uni, and this time it was Pete for the clearance. You are watching the WNPL 2020 Cup Final, proudly brought to you by Live Streaming Access. We'd like to thank our sponsors, RAA, who proudly support football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202-8078 for a quote, and that'll be a corner for Adelaide City. The Adelaide Uni defence has been superb tonight. And when Adelaide City have managed to get in behind, they've found Evelyn Goldsmith in superb form. Dylan Holmes will take another corner. Swung in. It's gone to the back post. Free header, but it's wide. It's another save. It looks like the defender got onto that one. Might have been Grace Abbey again, or possibly Daphne McLeod. But it'll be another corner for Adelaide City, and it'll be Yuka Sasaki to take it. Left footer. She'll be swinging this one in towards Evelyn Goldsmith. Sasaki now swings it in. That's got a lot of pace on it, and Danny Di Bartolo it was with the header at the back post. And it's gone wide for Adelaide City, but she was left all alone there, Di Bartolo. She'll probably be disappointed not to at least force a save out of Goldsmith.
Shortest one out there, manages to get on the header.
Yeah, well, she found the space.
Yeah,
that was a really good,
well.
good bit of attacking play from the corner there. Yuka Sasaki wins the goal kick. Now, can Dorber get onto it? She's got possession, tries to get it inboard for Di Bartolo, but Yanela harries her out of it well. Nano Sasaki. Just wonderful touch. Izzy Hodgson.
If you're joining... Sorry, Paul, I was going to continue here.
Campagnoli keeps it in.
Nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. Well called.
If you're watching us for the first time tonight, folks, and you haven't seen Yuka and Nano Sasaki play before, that is a small glimpse of what these Japanese internationals are capable of. Just fantastic ability to be able to stop the ball, turn, and play so simply. They make it look effortless, but it's just a superb ability to read the play and get in the way and create, and a fundamental part of what makes Adelaide City such a strong team.
Of course, you did mention that at least Yuka was pictured at training with Adelaide United. If, for any reason, this season Adelaide United aren't able to get 4 visa players that are currently playing overseas, that might just open the door for the Sasaki sisters to pull on the red, because of course they do count as visa players. It was probably the only reason why they haven't been called up to the squad before now.
Well, I'll tell you, Paul, that Adelaide United did play a friendly against Metro United last night. None of the Adelaide City players were involved, of course, because they got the cup final today, but one Cote Rojas did turn out there to watch Adelaide United, so I wonder if that could be one of the foreigners for the Reds this year.
Here's Di Bartolo. She's done well. Now, this is a chance for Dorber, but once again, brilliant defending, but they've got to clear it. Dorber nearly won the ball back. McLeod can't get it away.
Hey.
Holmes jumps in and wins the ball. Now here's Dorber again to get a shot in. It's, a free kick has been given for a foul on Yanela. Wow.
Yeah. Daniela did really well there to get Dorber in, but the Uni defence has denied it.
The amazing part of that is if it wasn't a foul, it was another great save by Evelyn Goldsmith.
Yeah, from
She's
Yuka
all
Sasaki.
over it anyway.
Yeah.
She's having a great match.
Yeah.
This has been a great match. It's one of those games where, you know, it's a bit of a sort of chess match, and such a great example of a team just, you know, using all their sort of, you know, determination, but also their smarts to try to keep themselves in it, and that's what Adelaide Uni's done. And I know we've praised a lot a losing team, but I think most people thought that this game would be put away early. That certainly has not happened. We are now in the 74th minute. And it's still Adelaide Uni 0, Adelaide City 1. Yuka Sasaki. The crowd's been very quiet, unusually quiet, because I think a lot of people are surprised by the way this game has gone. Can City ice it?
Oh, Abby.
Here's a shot for Nano! She has! My goodness, what a goal! Nano Sasaki just made it out of nothing. And that finally is the second in the 74th minute. There were black shirts all around, but they switched off. Sasaki took the shot, and it was as accurate as it could be inside the post. And finally, Evie Goldsmith is beaten, and it is Adelaide Uni 0, Adelaide City 2. And with 15 minutes left, that might just be that.
Well, Adelaide Uni find themselves 2-0 down now with 15 to go. And they're going to have to try something, and try something quick to get back into this one. Otherwise, it will be a 4th successive cup for Adelaide City. And just as we're talking about Nano Sasaki and the quality that her and her sister bring to this Adelaide City lineup, she has shown again, as she's shown over and over, just how talented of a footballer she is. Sparrow's done really well on Michaela Wittmar here to win the ball outside for Ianella. Ianella to the top of the box. Hit is the call, but Adelaide City defenders getting back. And immediately it looks like Adelaide Uni are pushing up a little higher, and you'd expect that now. And this will open up space. Here's Dylan Holmes to Campagnoli. Georgia Campagnoli, will she look to cut in on her right or take it down the line? She looks to cut in on her right, has a cheeky shot. But Goldsmith awake to that and comfortable in the end for the Uni keeper. And I was just about to say before she hit that shot, Sasaki, that Abby took a knock. How clever was she to protect the ball with her body and to create that space for herself? It's the sign of an intelligent footballer.
Tilly, there's a lot of talent on Uni's bench. I mean, Guajardo that can come up forward, Box, I mean, is an attacking player. Panagakos in midfield. Is it time to just get them out there and throw whatever they've got?
Well, it's a triple change coming up, Paul, and I think all the players you just mentioned are coming on.
Oh, there you go. You heard us. Yeah, I think, yeah, obviously 2-0. 15 minutes left. Get them on. Get attacking.
Holmes to Campagnoli. What a ball. Georgia Campagnoli is through. She's got Goldsmith ahead of her. Georgia Campagnoli goes for the shot.
Put it wide.
Just wide, and she's put up a little bit lame too, Georgia Campagnoli. Looks like she's clutching at her left calf, but an excellent through ball by Dylan Holmes. Just wide in the end from Campagnoli. Just seeing the replay there, she pulled up a little bit lame at the end there. Clutched her calf. She's done a lot of running. Yeah, she's struggling, Georgia C. We'll get back with the play. Here's Sasaki to her sister. Turned by Di Bartolo. And here's Chelsea Dorber now. She's through. She's got to do it all on her own. Campagnoli trying to get in, but she's no good. No, Georgia C is going to have to come off. She's no good. She's on her haunches. Adelaide Uni, though, they'll respect the referee's call when they're playing on. One, though, by Adelaide City. Here's Sasaki. And there goes the ball.
Get out, yep.
And Georgia C won't be able to continue.
It's like calf, maybe?
I think she did definitely look like she clutched for her calf. I'm not sure if it's cramp, but she was struggling.
Be an interesting decision here for a substitute, because I think either Caitlin White or Bianca Gray could come on. Bianca Gray, a sort of player who can, a bit like Georgia, can fill so many different roles. Caitlin White, more of a forward, could easily put her up at number 9 and then just reshuffle the front three. So interesting to see how this one gets played, but pretty sure that Georgia's not going to continue by what we can see from here. She looks like she's not going to play any more part in this game.
And here come the changes now for Adelaide Uni. Number 30 is Kuri. She'll be coming off and replaced by Guajardo, number 9. We'll wait for the other two. Will be a triple change. Number 2, Princess is coming off for number 12, which is Georgia Box, I believe, Paul.
Yeah.
And the last one will be Panagakos, the tall defensive midfielder for Uni. We've already seen that one, 30 for 9, but we'll get eyes on who Panagakos has replaced in a second. We'll see if the assistant referee corrects that. Nope. So we'll just get eyes on who Panagakos has replaced. Panagakos is number 6. And we'll get you that last change. And also, of course, Georgia Campagnoli looks to have played her last moments of this game. She's making her way slowly to the sideline. There she is, Georgia C. Interesting though, Adriano Pellegrino doesn't look like he's got someone warming up just yet, but the trainer for City is definitely given the simple substitution. And Pellegrino will make a change very shortly, but Adelaide Uni with possession and a throw-in. We'll just get eyes on who has come off for Panagakos for you as soon as we can. Fortunately, the assistant referee put up the wrong numbers, and we'll get that sorted for you quickly. But Guajardo is now leading the line for Uni. And we'll just see Burke's gone to right back for Parensis, and Burke's gone to left back for, stayed at left back, sorry. It's Sparrow who's gone to right back for Uni.
Uni trying to put the pressure on with their fresh players now. And, well, just a bit of miscommunication there with Georgia Box. And
could be Nora Pete that's come off. In fact, it is Nora Pete that's come off.
I think you're right. And Panagakos goes very easily into that position. And Adelaide City are now making their change, and it's actually going to be Jasmine Franks that comes on for Georgia Campagnoli.
Throw in taken by City. Down the line, there's Panagakos. You won't miss her. That was, and as I said that, it wasn't actually Panagakos. That was McFarlane. Dorber playing it through for Di Bartolo.
Daniela.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate error by the MC that it was Georgia Campagnoli off, not Danny Di Bartolo.
Right.
But I'm not one to talk about errors, trust me. Here's Panagakos. Holmes playing it through to Franks, who's just come on the fresh legs. Franks now looks to cut it back on her left. Evelyn Goldsmith clever. And saying to her defenders, up now. Now's the time. They get one soon, Adelaide Uni. Anything's possible. Guajardo, too much for her. Cleared by Michaela Wittmer.
We're into the last 10 minutes of the WNPL 2020 Cup final. Adelaide Uni 0, Adelaide City 2. Uni have put up a good fight, but it doesn't look like being enough unless they can have a big 10 minutes. RAA proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202-8078 for a quote. And we thank Live Streaming Access for bringing you tonight's coverage on behalf of Football South Australia. Holmes might have been fouled. Referee let it go. And now here's Fitzharris, and there's some not very happy City players, but that cross is going to be easy for Jenna. And she gives it back to Holmes, who thought she might have been fouled.
She wasn't shy letting the referee know. It was clearly a foul.
But Uni now have the ball back. Good play there by Yanella, and she tries to get Box through, but McNamara was alive to the danger. Plays it down the line.
Just a tad flat-footed there was Georgia Box. She was through if she was just a little bit on her toes.
Sparrow's throw is probably going to go out for a goal kick. But, Tilly, you never argue with refs, do you?
Never.
When they
not once in my life.
when they give those decisions against you that you think might be a bit dodgy.
Yes, sometimes. I respect the referees, but sometimes my competitiveness can get the best of me. I'm sure you guys have seen.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
City now in possession. If Uni are going to find any way back, they really need a goal in the next few minutes. I mean, you just can't. It's hard enough to get two against this City side, but to have to do it in just a couple of minutes would be just about impossible. They've really got to get one soon if they're going to have any hope of taking this game to extra time. But now they're being stretched the other way. Di Bartolo has the ball. Dorber,
good tackle.
Great tackle to save the ball. Oh,
it's on the floor.
That was amazing.
Abby, that was McLeod that did it, and great play. And now Uni have got a chance, but that's going to be offside. I thought no, it didn't go inboard to Fitzharris, who was offside, but unfortunately for Uni, it's gone out, and City might just want to slow things down a little bit because Uni have just found a little bit of a spring in their step. They've not given this game up at all. Jenna.
I was going to say, Paul, have Uni shown other teams in the finals that Adelaide City can be beaten?
Well, I don't know if they've shown that they can be beaten, but they've certainly shown a way to compete against them, that's for sure. And here's Panagakos. She might have won a corner. No, it's a goal kick.
6 minutes of regulation time left, plus any additional time that the referee wants to add. Wouldn't say right now there's any more than maybe 2 or 3, so possibly about 9 or 10 minutes left for Adelaide Uni to find 2 goals and force this game into extra time. Kendall Jenner expertly taking 20 seconds off the clock there. Finally gets the hurry up from the referee. Intelligent from the Adelaide City goalkeeper. Drops it onto Dylan Holmes' head. Yuka Sasaki, harried out by Sparrow.
Ooh.
Here's Guajardo. Can she get past the defence? Vitmar there.
Another ex-City player.
Yes, Valeria Guajardo.
Yeah.
Panagakos. An imposing presence in central midfield is Panagakos. Said last time we called the Adelaide Uni game that I'd love to have her as a centre in my basketball team. She's at least 6 foot, I'd say.
Yeah, over.
It's a wasted throw by Uni. They'll be disappointed with that. Expertly seen out by McNamara, and Kendall Jenner again will slow the game down. Again, another 20 or so seconds off the clock for Jenner.
She's game doing this.
Yep, the referee gives her another hurry up. It must be frustrating for Uni. Franks trying to get through. Sparrow's done well. Nano, Sasaki, what a ball.
Yeah.
Di Bartolo, first time straight onto Di Bartolo's leg. Danny Di Bartolo going to cut in, but again, the Adelaide Uni defence superb.
McFarlane's been excellent
She
tonight.
has been excellent.
Absolutely brilliant.
And Michaela Vitmar will take the throw in for City. Bullet throw down the line to Dorba. Di Bartolo try to cut in, but Uni successfully regained possession, but guess who again? Nano Sasaki could be a contender for player of the match. We'll let the experts decide, but probably one that's right up there.
You got to pick Tilly?
Daniela probably, in my opinion. Yeah, she's been great creating chances. Her touch is always close to her foot, and yeah, but Sasaki's another close one for sure.
Yeah, she got player of the match in both the cup final and the grand final last year, Nano Sasaki. And Izzy Hodgson just did a throw that any Sunday League player would know they'd get picked up on.
I was just thinking that, Paul. That was, you know, any Sunday League game, you got 22 guys screaming, foul throw, ref. But not at the senior level. And it'll be Goldsmith to take a free kick for Uni after an offside for City. As you can see, 3 minutes of regulation left. Nano Sasaki gave it away that time. Ianella, Panagakos, bit loose there. And the Sasaki sisters play it around. But it's fallen back to Panagakos. Looking for an option. She goes to play down the line. That's beautifully controlled by Guajardo. But harassed in the end by Hodgson.
Touch.
And Sasaki sisters again knocking it around. Di Bartolo tries to cut inside. Danny Di Bartolo gets past one. Looks up, wall of black in front of her. Switches it to Dorba. Dorba now inside the box. She's gotten past Sparrow. Chelsea Dorba goes for the shot. Great save by Goldsmith again.
Wow.
Panagakos looks to clear. And she's managed to get it to McFarlane. Down the line for Fitzharris. It's got too much on it. And it'll be another substitution now. Last roll of the dice for Adelaide Uni. 21 coming off.
It's Burke. She's had a great game.
Number 13 coming on, Paul.
Yeah, so Mabel Day, a former NTC player, will be replacing her. Well played by Sophie Burke. She had a terrific match.
Adelaide University coming off is number 21, Sophie Burke, being replaced by number 13, Mabel Day.
I don't think there's been one bad player out there tonight. It's been a high-quality game. City have definitely been surprised, but they look pretty good bet from here. We're only 90 seconds away from stoppage time, and they lead 2-0 with goals from Danny Di Bartolo and Nano Sasaki. Hodgson. So, giving it to Dorber to chase, and she's got the ball on the left. She loves this situation. Dorber! Saved by Goldsmith.
Goldsmith, yeah, it's been great.
One of our
very impressed.
Live streaming access colleagues here has said she's been player of the match, and you know what? It wouldn't be the worst call if she was given that gong tonight, Evie Goldsmith. Nano Sasaki, Holmes, Di Bartolo, Izzy Hodgson, who I think has also been very good tonight.
Yep.
I think City's left side has been probably their dominant one on this occasion. Now, Box trying to find an option. She nearly gets back the return ball, but it's gone too far. Nano Sasaki. Just excellent control, and just enough on that to get all the way back to Jenna. It almost gave Fitzharris a bit of an opening. Di Bartolo, great challenge by McFarlane. Yanella tries to just work the ball forward. Can they get Fitzharris through? McNamara was in the right space at the right time. And now Sasaki can bring forward. We're in stoppage time. We're going to have 4 minutes. Oh, and Goldsmith came a long way, but she got a really good piece of that ball to send it back into the defensive half for City.
4 minutes.
Here's Holmes. Holmes still going. Dylan Holmes tries to play through Franks, and the whistle's gone. Franks was offside. Holmes for a moment looked like she might have gone herself, Tilly, Panagakos. Well dispossessed by Yuka Sasaki. Just finding time. Macaulay. Nano Sasaki. Yuka Sasaki. They're just running down the minutes, aren't they, Tilly? They know this situation. Yuka Sasaki. Nano. Holmes. It's good control. Good ball out to Izzy Hodgson. And she's got some space. Goes past one. Good tackle in the end by Daphne McLeod. "90 seconds into the 4 extra minutes. Adelaide City on their way to their 4th straight cup. And to their 9th trophy in 4 seasons. And next week, they will begin their quest to make it 10 trophies in 4 seasons. And see if they can get a back-to-back treble. It's been a relentless trophy hunt for Adelaide City over these last few years. They'll start all over again next week in the finals with a semi-final against Salisbury Inter. Of course, before that, our co-commentator tonight, Tilly, will be in action for West Adelaide against Metro United in the knockout semi. We'll look forward to bringing that to you too. Keep your eye on social media for the details. Now, Dorber, just offside.
Nicely saved anyway.
And I'm sure, Tilly, you'll be hoping that you'll be in the grand final, actually on the pitch, and not up with us. But you'll be welcome to join us if you do miss out. I'm sure you'd rather be playing, though.
I would rather be playing, but yeah, this has been fun. I'd be happy to do it whenever.
Yeah, I think you're almost ready for play-by-play.
Sign me up.
Now, is this a chance for Uni? Fitzharris was crowded out there, and Holmes brings the ball away. She's gotten really busy in these dying minutes just to make absolutely sure that City will be taking the cup home for the 4th straight time, and she'll be winning it for the 5th straight time. Izzy Hodgson slows it right down. McNamara. Izzy Hodgson has stayed up and has got space. Di Bartolo. It's going to be a uni throw, but we are only seconds away from the final whistle. A great game. Adelaide City overwhelmingly red-hot favourites tonight. And they are going to win the cup, but they've worked very, very hard for it against an Adelaide Uni side that was not overawed and played the game with great determination and poise. It's not going to be enough. We're counting down to the final whistle. And there it is. 4 cups in a row for Adelaide City. 2-0 winners tonight. What a tremendous side they are. And once again, they will be lifting a trophy tonight. Tilly, overall reflections on the game?
I think it was great. To be honest, it could have easily been a washout. You know, City have proved they can score 5, 6, 7 goals. But I think, yeah, hats off to Adelaide Uni for really bringing it to them. And yeah, of course, congrats to Adelaide City for the cup.
Yeah, congratulations to Adelaide City. Congratulations to Uni. They've had a great cup run. They've fought so hard. 2 penalty shootouts that they've won. The late equaliser by Grace Abbey in their semi to get them to that penalty shootout. And they gave it their all tonight. But they were always up against it. Players, a lot of warmth between some of these players. Just seeing so many of the Uni players who used to wear the black and white of City, not the black and white of Uni, embracing their former teammates. I think Spiro might be ready for us, and we'll throw down to him. He's got Dylan Holmes with him, one of Adelaide City's co-captain. Take it away.
Dylan, 5 straight cup finals. You're going to have to buy a new trophy cabinet soon.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I remember the first one, and it was such an exciting moment. So to play 5 in a row is really, really special.
Was that one a bit harder than you expected tonight?
I think we knew going in they were going to be set up really well and that it probably wasn't going to be a very high-scoring game. So I think we kind of expected that from them, and we knew that we had to keep the ball really well and be super patient. So I think it was a really professional performance from us.
I'll pass you over to Paul and Nicole Tilley in the commentary booth, who are going to ask you a few questions as well. Just keep your eyes on the cameras up there, and you'll be great.
Firstly, from me, congratulations again, Dylan. And we did mention through the read that through the commentary tonight that City's won 4 in a row, but you've won 5 cups in a row tonight. So well done on that.
Thank you.
The pace of the game, it was a bit probably slower than would have suited City. How did you find it? Did you make some adjustments early to the way Uni set up, and do you think that it worked out in the end the way that you would hoped?
Yeah, no, it was definitely, the pace was a bit slower than we normally play, and I think that's due to it's a bit muggy out here, so I think for both teams it was a bit slow, but I think we knew that it was going to be very congested in the middle with them playing 5 at the back, so for us in the midfield we really had to try and open up wide and find little pockets to get on the ball and face forward, but yeah, they played in a similar way to what they've played against us in the last couple of games, so we were kind of expecting that coming in.
Hi Dylan, congrats.
Thank you.
As much as it pains to say, I wish I was out there playing.
Yeah.
What do you think the training schedule is going to look like in the build up to finals now? Obviously you've had lots of games to play with the cup and just the normal round as well. Yeah, what's on the agenda?
I think, you know, for us, we're going to celebrate this win tonight, and then come Monday, it's back to a normal week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and back on the park to play Salisbury next Friday. So I think, you know, tonight we'll have fun, and then come Monday, it's done, and we move on and focus on finals.
Thanks very much, Dylan. We'll let you get back to celebrating with your teammates. Guys, I'll throw back to you, and I'll see if I can get you someone else from the successful Adelaide City team.
Thank you, Spiro, and thanks to Dylan Holmes, co-captain of Adelaide City, and winning her 5th consecutive cup tonight, having won against Adelaide City with Fulham United in 2016, and being part of the City side that's won these last 4 cups. Just to recap those finals, Fulham United defeated City 2016 3-2. In 2017, City defeated Adelaide Uni 3-2. Defeated West Adelaide 3-2 in 2018, 6-1 last year, and 2-0 against Adelaide Uni this year. And they're just having a big celebration in the middle of the park, as you would expect. Just looking at the Adelaide Uni players walk off, Tilly, I mean, what is it? What do you think's going through their minds right now? I mean, they must have come in knowing that, you know, their chances were low, but, you know, now the game's been played and, you know, now they probably think, well, you know, we got a bit closer than we thought. I mean, is it a tough feeling, or do you start to feel a little bit of, well, you know, we've achieved something by getting this far and playing this well?
Yeah, of course. I think they have lots to be proud of to even get here. They don't seem too down from what I can see, but I think, yeah, even where they've finished in the normal round, I don't think it really reflects like the talent in their team. And on paper, they've got some quality players, and I think that maybe they've just gelled a little bit too late. But yeah, apart from that, in terms of tonight's performance, they've been really good.
We're going to throw back to Spiro when you're ready, mate. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Paul. We've got Adriano Pellegrino here, the successful coach. This coaching gig is easy, isn't it?
We'll just clear it up. Caretaker role. Caretaker role. It's been a journey this year through all the processes at the club, and this was just another small hurdle that we had to overcome. And credit to the girls, they pulled together well. So yeah, like I said, caretaker role coming in and driving the ship in the same direction it's been going all season.
How do you keep a group of players who've won so much motivated week in, week out?
Yeah, I guess for me, I've been trying to reflect, you know, my professional career on them, and making sure that they're being driven and training at a high intensity, and making sure they're motivated, barking orders from the sideline, and making sure that they're putting in an effort right to the end. I think that's the biggest thing with them, just keeping them motivated and making sure that when they're going back to the Adelaide United environment, they're in their prime.
Fantastic, Adriano. We're obviously very close to presentation, so I'll let you go and join your team. Congratulations. A premiership and a cup in successive weeks, and maybe even a championship in a couple of weeks. Good luck. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
We'll grab the presentation, I think, Paul.
Thank you, Spiro, and thank you, Adriano Pellegrino, the Adelaide City coach. Adelaide Uni players coming up. The referees and so the officials have already come up to get their medals, and hopefully we won't have a repeat of what happened in the cup final last year, where I'll let you in on a little secret. The officials were accidentally given runners-up medals, but that mistake was rectified later in the week. Uni players coming up first to get their runner-up medals. They've certainly earned a reward tonight. Mabel Day, who came on as a late sub there, as did Margarita Fitzsimmons. It's always good to get all the officials of the clubs getting their medals as well. Not just the head coach these days. It's always good to see that so much of the training and conditioning staff and management of these clubs get recognised. So many of them doing so much work, often for so little reward. You know, the people that work behind the scenes to make sure that the team is ready to go every week. And this group has done tremendously well. A few weeks ago, Adelaide Uni were bottom, staring at disaster for a season. For a team, a proud club, one of the oldest in female competition. We're just about to find out who the player of the match is. Good call, Tilly. Tilly predicted it and was correct. Danny Di Bartolo. And I guess the important goal was the first to break the deadlock, and she found the space to score it, didn't she?
Yeah. I think if she wasn't to score that one, it could have easily become a tighter match than we thought.
Coming up to get the medal, and now her teammates will come up one by one to get their winners' medals. Georgia Campagnale up first. There's a bit of a limp there. She did go off injured. Hopefully for her sake it's nothing too bad. Chelsea Dorber, quiet tonight, certainly by her standards, but you would not say she played a bad game. She was very, very important to her team.
Number 5, Alice McCauley. Number 3,
Is Izzy Hodgson just getting her... she had a very good game, I thought.
Yeah, agreed.
Dylan Holmes, again, like Dorber, not as influential as normal, but you can't keep her down, that's for sure.
Yuka Sasaki. Number 26, Jasmine
There's McNamara.
Franks.
She was very, very good tonight.
Number 15, Bianca Gray.
Both sets of defences were. Town
Number 20,
Powell,
Abby Lucas.
another great accolade for her
Number 21,
over
Michaela
a wonderful
Vidmar.
career. The Sasaki
Number 9,
sisters up
Caitlin
together.
White. Head coach of Adelaide City, Adriano Pellegrino. Team manager, Seymour Di Bartolo. And the team physio, Rachel Yench. We also invite all other
There's the
members of
reserve
team
keeper,
staff
Abby
to come
Lucas.
forward and receive medals.
You know, I guess, you know, Tilly, you know, a lot of these players that, you know, don't get on the pitch much, but, you know, you would see just how much they contribute, you know, when the squad's on the training pitch and making sure that, you know, everyone's sharp and they're ready to step up when needed.
Oh yeah, I think hats off to anybody who, you know, is happy to sit on the bench Friday night and then play again in the Rezzies on Sunday. Oh yeah, it's really important for a squad to have the depth and the people willing to commit to the club. So
I'll now
yeah,
ask
that's just
the
as
captain and
important.
coach of Adelaide City to come back up to receive the Women's National Premier League Cup for 2020.
And the cup about to be presented. The Adelaide Uni players very sportingly staying on the pitch to watch this presentation. And there's Tian Powell and Dylan Holmes, the co-captains.
Well,
They've
ladies
done
and
it
gentlemen,
again.
Once again, Adelaide City winning the Women's National Premier League Cup for 2020. Put your hands together once again for Adelaide City.
They're well drilled at this practice. Let your teammates on. And they got the young players on as well for this one. That's a great touch. Are they all going to fit on the stage with so many people? Oh, they're going to find a way.
So Danny Di Bartolo won player of the match. What does that teach you guys? Don't listen to anything I have to say.
Listen to the experts, the people that actually play. Tilly called it.
Yeah, I'm going to take that one.
Well done. And well done on your efforts tonight. First time in the commentary area.
Oh, thank you. It's been fun.
You're seeing the Adelaide City players celebrating another trophy. And in 3 weeks' time, they'll be hoping that they do it again. But I'm sure that the other finalists will have plenty to say about that. Salisbury Inter playing them next week. Your West Adelaide side will be hoping to make their way through from the knockout semi next week as well. Tilly and Metro United as well. The old campaigners will also be in the finals this season, which we look forward to bringing you next week. Just a reminder that this game is brought to you by RAA, who proudly support football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202-8078 for a quote. And live streaming access, bringing you this coverage, doing all the work behind the scenes to give you tonight's fantastic pictures and production and replays to allow you to enjoy this live stream wherever you are around town, around the state, around the country, around the world. We hope you've been enjoying this broadcast of what's been a terrific cup final between Adelaide City and Adelaide Uni.
I'll try and grab someone as they walk past, Paul. But the players obviously just trying to acknowledge their supporters. 650 was the final number tonight here at the Parks, which is a fantastic attendance.
That's awesome.
At a beautiful facility.
Of course, it is still, as we mentioned before, we are still in these unusual times, and a lot of people that might normally be coming to these things might, for lots of reasons, not be able to do so, and they've done. But it's a terrific crowd 650 under those circumstances especially.
We should say how lucky we are to be actually out and enjoying the football, where there's so many places around the world that can't enjoy the game like this, like we can, and still struggling to get back to some semblance of normality. So we are very blessed here in South Australia, and it was a fantastic night out. Windy one, but a beautiful night.
Of course, those of you watching at home seeing the pictures of the City players posing for photos.
Adam Butler doing a great job.
Bless him.
Shout out to Adam Butler. He provides some great pictures for us all year.
Yeah.
Now, did you know Adam Butler was the first person to create the Adelaide United supporters group, and he used to paint his head red?
Oh, he was one of those guys. With like the drum.
Yeah.
Like the Red Army or whatever it used to be called.
That's the one.
Oh, that's amazing.
They used to be called The Stand.
The Stand.
Anyway, I got sidetracked really quickly,
Okay,
didn't I?
Sorry.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to get another player for an interview.
Who do we want, guys?
Mate, you see who you can get. Whoever's willing to talk to you, and I know that's.
Well, let's just wrap the broadcast up here then, I think.
All right, we out.
Yeah, we'll try to get Danny Di Bartolo,
Yeah.
player of the match. We'll just, she's obviously in the middle of a photo.
Yes, no, I'm glad you mentioned Adam Butler, Tilly. He has done so much amazing work for our competitions, all of our competitions. He's been out to NPL, WNPL State League games, and I sometimes can't believe what he's gone. You want to look through his archives, I sometimes can't believe how much work he's done. He's done a fantastic job for Football SA and for football in this state.
Just look at the camera. You probably heard me say to Danny, look at the camera. Danny Di Bartolo, congratulations, superb performance, well-deserved player of the match. Does it ever change, all this winning? Did you ever get like, oh, I'm a bit sick of it?
No, it's the best feeling ever. I mean, you know, our goal is...
Georgia, thank you.
Our goal at the start of the season is always to win. You know, everyone wants to win medals, and, you know, we always do it. So it's a good feeling.
How do you get motivated now for finals? I mean, you won a premiership last week, a cup this week, and you got obviously a championship in a couple of weeks, hopefully. How do you get motivated? I mean, how do you go from a cup winner to, all right, let's get the training and knuckle down for the next one?
I mean, we just have to prepare again. We put it in the past, you know, it's a big achievement, but we still have another cup to win. So we go out there and train hard, and we get the result that we want.
What I like to do every year in the cup final is like to have a bit of fun, because we're obviously celebrating here, so I'm going to ask you some tricky questions, okay? What's your favourite colour?
Pink.
Okay. What's your favourite movie?
Honey.
What's that?
It's a dancing movie.
Oh, yes, I know the one. My wife loves that. I don't understand it, but nevertheless. If you weren't a footballer, what would you be?
Good question. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Fair enough. I'll put you on the spot. Hey, thanks so much for having a chat. Really appreciate it. Congratulations. Good luck in the finals.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thanks. That was Danny Di Bartolo, folks. Her favourite film is Honey. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's not bad.
A couple of the players, thank you Spiro and thank you Danny Di Bartolo, a couple of the players right in front of the commentary position now that you can just see on camera, coming to celebrate with family and friends. Probably I just think I saw the most unusual thing during that interview, and that was that Tian Powell came over to take a photo of Danny Di Bartolo being interviewed by Spiro. Now, I mean, Spiro, I just don't know why anyone would do that.
Yeah, I'm stumped too, to be honest, but, you know, I'm always the professional, Paul, so I'm just going to pretend like I didn't see it, but I reckon that'll be on the Adelaide City WhatsApp group quicker than you can say.
Actually, I think if you go for a meal at Oak, then you'll probably see it blown up behind the bar, mate. There you go.
Do not let this person inside.
Wanted.
Actually, I don't know if you can grab Tian Powell.
I'll let you chat to her.
If she says anything to you, just say I made you do it.
Tian, Paul wants to speak to you. He won't let me go without talking to you. So I'll give you the microphone and give you the headphones. Boys, just give me a second while I transfer things over, okay? Grab that one. Chuck these in your ears.
How are you, T? Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
I wasn't going to let you get away without having some time behind the mic, mate. Congratulations again, T. You've won yet another trophy, and you know, you've been, I think, part of the personnel that's taken City to another level when you came over in 2017. The championship run started. I have to ask you, T. You know, every year you wonder whether you're going around again. Have you had those thoughts yet so far? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yes, I have. Very early on in the year, and then when COVID hit and I was like, can I do 2 pre-seasons in 1 year? And I did, but I do think it is, it's getting a little bit tougher on the body. I enjoy it so much and I would miss it, but yeah, a decision to have maybe in a couple of weeks' time.
I've got to say, a couple of people have said that are around the WNPL traps, they think you've played better this year. Like, you've actually played better this year than last year. And how have you seen your performance? Because you've really not looked like anyone that's anywhere near the end of their career. You've been absolutely right in the thick of it, week in, week out.
Thank you. I think it's obviously my teammates as well. They're awesome and they put balls in and I think make me maybe look better than what I do. But yeah, I feel like I have worked quite well this year, done a lot more running than in previous years, but yeah, look, it's been good and I credit my teammates.
Oh, you're very modest. You're very modest as always. But I think you've got another 3 big weeks coming up, and you know, last year, and it's funny, we've got Nicole Tilley up here who scored the goal that made you guys go the long way in the final last year. And but you'll obviously be trying very hard to win next week so that you can get the week off. Do you think that's a really important factor this year, because you've had such a busy schedule since you came back from the COVID break?
Yeah, I think it would be really good to have it, and especially with a lot of the W League girls going off and training extra nights. I think we would really love a week off. I mean, only maximum 3 games to go, so hopefully we can just get it done in 2, but obviously the week off would, I think, do us really well this year.
Oh, fantastic. You're a good sport. Thanks so much for taking the questions, and congratulations again on the win, mate.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you.
Tian Powell, co-captain of Adelaide City. I did put her on the spot a bit, I've got to admit, but she knows how to answer these questions. Don't worry about that. And once again, she's part of a successful Adelaide City side tonight. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. We just want to do a final shout out to our sponsors, RAA, proudly supporting football in South Australia. Brighten your home with RAA Solar. Call 8202-8078 for a quote. Thanks also to live streaming access for producing the coverage tonight. Thanks to you, Spiro. Any final words from you, mate?
No, thank you to everybody who watched. And don't forget, we are calling every game of the WNPL final, so we'll be back next week with a double header. That'll be Adelaide City versus Salisbury Inter, and West Adelaide versus Metro, and the semi and the grand final.
And that game at the West Adelaide Metro game will be first up, coming for you from 6 p.m. So keep your eye on Football SA's social media. Finally, thanks, Nicole Tilley. Congratulations on your commentary debut. I know that it's a big thing, but you've taken to it beautifully. Well done, mate. And
thank you very much.
And want to wish you all the best for the finals and back in the action next week. We look forward to calling it.
Thank you, guys.
No worries. We're signing off here. Have a good weekend, everybody, and don't forget to tune in again next week.
Our house. I like how that sounds. I don't like how that sounds.
Is this close enough?
Make sure you have RAA Home and Contents Insurance. Get a quote today. RAA.
Keep on moving on.